All right, guys, here we go, man. Part 3, dude. So it's Monday and it's after work. And guess what showed up today? Well, while I was at work. So we got the piston for the big KX 125 here. So we're gonna walk in here and take a look at this. I'm cleaning up some parts right now, trying to get some gasket material off. So we're trying to scrape all this gasket material off. I've already cleaned the head up. Now, once I get done with all this and get it cleaned off, then we're gonna go over the piston, the ring. I'm gonna show you the ring gap. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna get the top end gasket kit that I bought for this thing. And we're gonna try to get the top end put together today. And then we're gonna take the carburetor off and see if we can't get it fixed. I mean, I got a rebuild kit for that with a new choke and everything. So, with that, dude, we are getting started with the rebuild process of the 1993 KX 125 J2. So y'all stick around and let's get this party going. So I am just scraping this gasket off with the brass paint scraper. Man, we're gonna put this thing in fast forward. We're gonna go through it real quick and get it done. You seen me do it with sandpaper. It was 2000 grit, I showed y'all, right? And if you're gonna do it that way, man, be gentle. You don't want to wear any dips in the material, right? So it's not perfect. There is a little bit around here, which I could probably get my paint scraper and get some of that off, like so. And for me, when I use my paint scraper, I use the bevel side on the top, and then the higher up you go, the better off scraping you're gonna get. And just be careful, don't let your corners gouge the metal. It is aluminum. Hey, got it cleaned up, got it oiled, it's soaking. So here we go, man. That brand new beautiful Wiseco piston for the price $160 shipped. And for the 1993 Kawasaki KX 125 J2, it is a 54.95 53, I'm sorry, let me back that up, 53.95 millimeter piston is your stock and standard board piston. So they give you this nifty little bag, which I think is cool, man. Comes with that little piston, right? So I've used pistons since I raced dirt bikes back when I was a kid, man. And Wiseco has been something I've always went with. And another thing, they put your holes pre-drilled for your exhaust port, which is also a bonus, because, well, you don't have to worry about drilling them, and you know you need them for the bridge on the exhaust side. So we got our C-clips, or C-clips, new ring, new wrist pin, perfect. So we have the ring here, and this is what I really want to show you. So here's the new ring, right? It's got an N on it, so the lettering is gonna go up. Now I'm gonna show you two things. One, let's pull this old ring off here. This is the old ring, right, off of the old piston. And then there's the new one. If you can pick up the difference there. Right? Now, there's two more things I want to show you. So I had to grab a light real quick. Now I'm going to show you this. This is the old piston, right? We're going to slap it in there. We'll push it down with the piston, right? And then I'm going to show you this ring gap. So that's the old piston right there. Look at that. Look at how huge that is, right? That's the old one. Now we're gonna pull that bad boy out of there. Just like that. So your ring gap is supposed to be 0.004 inches. We're gonna put the end up. And then we're gonna gently push this ring down in there. We're just gonna use the old piston to push it down and make sure it's straight. And then I want to show you this. Look at that ring gap. So I just wanted to show you, you know, I guess you could say physically. Now I'm gonna get my feeler gauge out here and see what we got. I believe I have a 0.004. Right here. So that's it right there. Perfect. Actually, that's like a let's see here. Since it's just a hair bigger than that. This is a 005 right here. It's about a 5 or a 6, which is within tolerance. I'm just trying to give y'all a hard number here. Let's see, there's a 6 right there. We're gonna find the right one here in a second, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna say it's a 0.006, that's within spec, so we're good to go. Now we're gonna pull this back out, right? We're gonna put it on the new ring, on the new piston. The letter N, you see it right there. That's gonna go facing up. And voila, once you fight it a little bit, you get it on there, you're good to go. You got your pin, we've checked our gap. We're gonna run out to the bike. It's outside, we're gonna cover up that crankcase, and we're gonna slide the jug on there. So first things first is we do wanna take a wrist pin clip and go ahead and put that in one side. So we got the bike unwrapped here, so to speak. Now, I have some gasket material on the actual engine block itself, so I just stuffed my rag down around my crank real tight. I'm gonna go get my paint scraper and scrape a lot of this off, and then we'll be ready to throw a new gasket down. So I have this gasket kit here. I've never used them, Athena. So we're gonna find out how good they are. Some of the O-rings I had in a different kit, and I've already changed them out with the piston, like the power valve O-rings, and the gasket here, the O-ring here. We replaced all them already, so I should have them extra. But I do have a head gasket, I have a cylinder gasket, I might even have a water pump gasket down in there, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna get my paint scraper out. We're gonna get this cleaned up real quick, get it wiped down, make sure nothing falls down in the engine. And then we're gonna get ready to stick this thing back on top of here and pull that bad boy off and see what we can do with it. So if you notice, and if you're gonna do this on your bike, try to use your paint scraper away from your cylinder or any ports that's got, like my power stem valve holes here have oil down in them. Try to push this stuff away from that, right? You want to try to be as minimum as possible with it getting down in there, right? But if you can see, well, I'm sure you can. But if you're paying attention, I am pushing it steadily away from my cylinder. I don't want to push it back down towards my cylinder, right? Somebody already got crazy on there and gouged it right there. Some people get in a hurry. This is not one of them times you should be in a hurry. Just go nice and slow. You don't want to gouge your surface. And voila, you can get it off of there, ladies and gentlemen. And voila. So I'm gonna get I got a second rag. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna wipe it down before I even take this rag out of my crankcase. Try to minimize, whatever's gonna fall in there, or at least on that rag, and then try to get that extra out of there. Well, I feel like that was a win. We got it all cleaned up, at least good enough for a gasket to seal really well. Well, I got a little bit right there, man. I don't know if y'all can pick that up or not, but there's a little bit right here, and that's pretty important. So if you're gonna do something like this, just go slow. Try to keep things away. See, in this instance, you really gotta just be careful. And look, as you get it up, make sure it sticks to that rag. Right, don't let it fall down inside your engine. I think that's been the only spot that I have not been able to get with, you know, pushing away from the engine. Everything else you could push away as you're doing it. Let's clean all this out really well. I don't want to spray any brake part cleaner or anything like that in there. We're gonna clean this off while we got this open. I mean, might as well, right? There we go. That's a nice clean surface there. Perfect, man. All right, we're I think we're ready to let them good times roll, ladies and gentlemen. Try to wipe all that down good before you take that rag out of there. All right. So I think we're in. I think we're gonna be good. That sounds pretty good. I still don't like that play right there, but I think we're gonna be all right. And another thing, if you're gonna stick a rag down inside your crankcase, make sure it's lint free. You don't need that down in. I just seen a little piece of lint in there, and before I realized it, it was gone. I'm just hoping that'll come out with an oil change. All right, so we're gonna continue to fight that, try to keep it out of the way. Now here's the meal ticket. So we're gonna wrap this back up, and that's because this is gonna be a fight. Them new C-clips are intense, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not here to underplay it or anything like that, so we're gonna stuff it tight. We're gonna get some 2-stroke oil here. We're gonna lube some things up. And then all right, perfect. So the arrow goes forward, the 2 holes in the piston, they go forward towards your exhaust, always. Always, the arrow always goes to the exhaust. Get that lubed up. Get this needle bearing, or this wrist pin bearing, should I say. Go ahead and get that bad boy lubed up. We're gonna go with the old one. It doesn't seem like it's in bad shape, so we're just gonna go with it. Make sure we got plenty of lube on there, plenty of 2-stroke oil. We don't want no dry starting, man, none. There's that. Grease that grease, or at least lube it up with some 2-stroke oil. Put it in there, make sure you're good, you're slippery. All right. So, once again, you put one clip in already, have it prepared, arrow forward. If you buy Wiseco, 2 arrow or 2 holes pointed towards your exhaust. Slide it through and you're in there. And now the fun begins. All right, man, the camera got too hot, shut off, so I had to get a new battery. And then we had to get it out of the sunlight. So back to what I was saying. These C-clips, or these wrist pin clips here, boy, they're something. I'm telling you that right now, dude. They are something. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it in there like so. Right, this is the fun part. So what I had to do with the other one, let me get the proper tools over here, is I had to put it in here like so. Right, and this is the reason why you put a rag right here. This is the reason. Let's try this the other way. Let's go back this way with it. Right, a little more room. So this kind of goes back to, I've watched 1,000 motorcycle videos, man, repair videos through the years. And people normally don't show this fight right here, man. And it's a fight, gentlemen. It's not like it's just gonna pop in there and it's a done deal. It's a fight. So I figure if nobody else is gonna show it, well, I sure will. So you want to try to, I mean, it's we're gonna have to work it in here, right? And you want to be careful. You don't want to scratch the side of your piston, right? That's not what you're trying to do. If I had the proper pair of pliers, it would probably help. But I don't have them, so we're not gonna go there. Maybe. If you put your ends in there. Well, just hang tight, gentlemen. So we're gonna have to do a couple of things here. One, we need to bend this in a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. Right, because you don't want it to be all twisted up once you get it in there. See? That's what that old rag's. Ah. So I know this is kind of boring, gentlemen. I know it is, man. But if you're gonna do this, this is gonna be a part of it, right? So that's how you want to do it right there. Now, I don't really want to put a screwdriver in there, so I got a nut driver because it's smooth on the ends. And you can push that bad boy over there, and when it's in, and we're in. There it is. Perfect. So it is a struggle. You can get it. The best way I just got it right now was take the 2 open ends and push it in like right here, and then just kind of push it down and in and let them things close together, and it popped right in there. So now we're gonna break this gasket kit open and we're gonna drop this head on here real quick. So they give us two gaskets, man. They give us a paper gasket, and this is kind of, it's like a steel gasket. So what we're gonna do, which I believe the way to do it is gonna be just like this here. Well, so we're gonna put this down. Well, don't get ahead of yourself there, bud. I'm gonna have to say the gasket, you gotta kind of fight it on there. There we go, there we go. So that goes down. And then to the best of my knowledge, this would go down. Right, just like so. So now we're down. Two gaskets, that's what it came with, that's what I'm going with. Now we already lubed up the cylinder, we already lubed up the piston. So we're gonna stab this bad boy on there. Let's line up our pin here. You know we have a pin in our piston. So we're gonna find that. Where you at, baby? Right there on the back side. So here we go. Make sure all your power valves are in good. Make sure they're free. Yes sir, they still work nice and free. And here we go. So I am gonna have to say, man, one thing. This whole single piston, single ring thing makes life real easy, gentlemen. All you gotta do is get your hand in there. Cause you don't wanna chip a brand new ring, right? And if you can get it in one side, see if we can't get this bad boy slid on here. All right, so a couple things we forgot to do here. If we remember how it came off the bike, we had to remove this first, right? To get it off of there. So let's go ahead and do that again. Well, we're gonna get her. Let me get that thing in position there. Let's see if we can get that bad boy pulled off of there. Oh, almost. There it goes. Where'd it go? Oh no. Oh, that's catastrophic, gentlemen. Well, once you you know, pull your clip, lose it, spend 30 minutes trying to find it. Once you find it, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cinch this down. Right, I'm just gonna run these down, hold it down on there, because we're down all the way. Power valve's still free. Got to check that, make sure that's good. Now I'm just gonna put these on here hand tight so I can spin it over and make sure it's smooth. Right, we don't need a ring binding up or anything of that nature. Finger tight, finger tight, finger tight, finger tight. Here we go. Let me pull you up here. We're gonna look at the top of this piston here. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's nice. I mean, right there. Trying to get it to stop right at the top. Right there, man. So, perfect. Now that we got that going, I'm gonna reassemble my power valve real quick. We got the carburetor ripped off finally. So this is the kit that I bought. It's I forget the name brand of it. It was cheap. I needed the choke, right? We know the choke is broke. So I gotta try to get that out of there, man. Which is probably gonna be fun, and I'm probably gonna have to cut that off to get it out of the way. But with that, I mean, they gave me everything else. Springs. I'm not 100% with that. I think that's for the top, for the cable. They gave me a jet, which is a 150. And I thought they gave me a pilot jet, but I guess they did not. Which is fine, because I got that kit there, and we got to jet it to the pipe. It's a pro circuit pipe. So that's fine. Now the spring's not the same. It's not really the same length. But the end fits, so we're going to use the new plastic piece. And then the new choke. And then if you look down in my old one here, this piece right here is 8 up. So we're gonna go ahead and swap that out. I mean, everything looks identical. I think I'm gonna stick with the OEM one. And I'll just save this for a later date. Extra parts, right? So yeah, that goes in the top on your screw piece for your cable to sit in and your adjustment. A new float, new screws with hose mounts, gasket for the top, inside gasket, another inside gasket, seat, idle screw, which is plastic. I don't get that, but it's plastic. And then we have a spring, which I believe goes in your air screw. So with further ado, we don't really have to clean it, we just got to put it together. So we're going to take this out. We're going to put the new one in. Which it doesn't fit, it's too small. So what we'll do, don't believe that's supposed to be on there. Well, I'm pretty sure it is. It's a lock. We're gonna put the same spring, the new spring they gave us. We're gonna put that on there. That seems kind of off. I just don't like that. That doesn't seem right at all. So we're not gonna do that. That spring seems a little bit too long also. I had this makeshift spring on there. Seemed to work pretty good. So I think we're just gonna go with it and leave it. Seemed like it worked all right. Let's see if we can't find a washer for it. I did have one in my truck. We'll put that on the end like that so it's not just digging into that carburetor. We'll leave it for now. If we gotta change it later, we will. So, small flat blade here. I'll pull this out. That's our air screw. They gave us a new spring. Doesn't look nowhere near as heavy duty. It does look the same length though, so that's a bonus. We're gonna go with the new screw. We're gonna run that into lightly seated. Once we're done with everything, we'll set it. It literally took 45 minutes of fighting it, dude. I had to drill it out with a small drill bit to try to cut that piece of plastic. My camera's gonna die, man, so we will do the first startup tomorrow, because I gotta finish bolting the radiators on and everything else. So look at there. We're gonna do our best to finish this up. Well, we're gonna put the carburetor back on it tonight anyway. Look at that. Perfect. Get these old needle nose right here. Pull that old plunger out like that. And then voila. So, I seen this little black dot in my kit and I wasn't sure what it was, but now I know. Because that one has a little black dot in it. So, that's trash. This, I gotta fit back in here and then we'll screw it back in and put this bad boy back on the bike. All right, we got that rubber piece in there. So, first things first, we're gonna clean this out. That was a wild rod. All right, let's see how this one fits. It's a little tender, man. Them threads. Well, we're not gonna talk about them threads. That's a 12. Might even be bigger than that. That's bigger than that. It ain't even a 13. Oh, that's what it was. It's a crescent wrench. Oh, gotta love that crescent wrench. So we're gonna run this back in there, run it back on the bike, same spring, new piece inside, new needle. Got the carburetor jetted for the pro circuit. pipe, which is a 168 and a 52. Getting the choke put back in here, which is fighting me like it would. So a 9/16 is a little bit big, and I don't have a 14mm wrench right on hand, because that's what it would be. But we do want to make sure it's going to go all the way down. Seat on there, up, down, up, down. So evening's falling on me, and with that, my light's going away. So we are gonna change this O-ring right here, goes right there. So we got that old pick tool. Pull the old one out. There's a little bit of dirt in there. Gonna get that out of there. Slide the new one in. Make sure it goes all the way in. See how it goes on the outside there. I like to take the back of my pig tool. It's nice and smooth. Push it down in there like so. Now we get to stab this bad boy. So, first thing you want to note is the clip has a tit inside of there. You see it right there? So that's actually gonna fall down into the cut right here. Right there. There it is, yeah. And it's gonna hold that, it's gonna hold this cable in there. So here we are, man. It is the very next day after work once again. And I've been out here chipping away at it, man. We got everything bolted up, everything torqued down. Got my head bracket on, head to frame bracket. Got my radiators on, tied back in. Got the carburetor fixed on the choke, which I still don't like it, man. It doesn't stay up all the way. But it's better than what I did have, so we rejetted the carburetor to be a 168 main and a 52 pilot for the pro circuit pipe. I didn't have the needle to change out, so we're just gonna run it the same. And then pro circuit recommends 1.5 turns out from lightly seated on your air fuel screw. So, and then my idle screw here, we're gonna see if that works. We went through everything. We changed the gasket. We changed the needle with the one that came in the rebuild kit. So I got a few more things to do, man, and then we're gonna fire this thing up and see how it runs, man. I have been waiting for this. Well, guys, so I forgot to order 2 pipe to frame mount brackets, so I just had to tie me a wire on there right now. I got to get another spring right here. I only have one, and that gasket did not fit inside the cylinder, so we're not going to run it. We're just going to run it like it is. I did change the O-rings, and I'm hoping that'll help. Now, The only thing I really have left to do is I need to set the tank on here. I need to put some 50-50 pre-diluted in there and see what we got. Now, we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna fire it up. We're gonna take it easy, right? We still have to break it in. But with that being said, I need to know if the crank seals are bad or if the water pump seal is leaking. I was told by the seller that he changed the water pump seal. Now, I'm gonna run it. We're gonna see how it runs. If it runs decent, we're gonna cruise it around a little bit, try to break it in, and see what we got, man. So let me get this tank on there, get the seat on there, top off them radiators and make sure we don't have any leaks. And then we're gonna get ready to fire this bad boy up and so here it is, man. We're gonna mix this up. We're gonna throw a little 32-to-1 in there. That's what the manufacturer recommends. We're gonna make sure our coil's always all the way on there. Gotta love that blue gas. So we're not gonna do a bunch just in case, man. I mean, this may go south, it may not. So let's come over here. We're gonna look, turn this fuel on. Fuel's filling. I don't really care for that bend right there. That's really not good. I don't see any leaking. Nothing's leaking from the bottom there. Got to get some new hoses. So here we go, man. We're gonna give it a go, see what it runs like. All right. The choke is up. I don't know if it's on or not, but it is up. So, moment of truth. don't think that choke's acting right. No, I don't think it's acting right at all, actually. All right, guys, we ripped it up and down the road, man. Gave it a little bit of heck. You know, I didn't want to get crazy with it. I'm still trying to break it in, but I do still have a bunch of oil coming out there and then up here. So I don't know if that's excess running out of the pipe. I didn't repack the silencer and I didn't clean the pipe out very good. I'm gonna let it cool all the way down, and if I have enough time today, I'm gonna come back out here and ride it again. Real easy. I'm gonna try to get through this break-in period, see if it won't act right. If it don't act right, I'm pretty sure I gotta get into crank seals. And I definitely do not want to ruin a $160 brand new Wiseco piston, or should I say top end. So I'm gonna get out of here, dude. We're gonna see what happens. It is running, it does sound better, but we're still losing a lot of oil through the exhaust. So until I get this problem figured out and figure out what we're gonna get into, it was a big win and a big loss. So I'm gonna take my wins where I can get them, and I'm definitely not gonna complain. So until we can get this problem fixed, figured out, and get it going, which I do believe it's crank seals, but I do have a reed valve problem, and it could be the either or both. So I'm your boy, Ride Fast and Live Careless, and until the next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.